For the final time this regular season, we are inside of the PE Center on the beautiful campus of Marian University as the Knights conclude regular season play against the Cougars of Spring Arbor University. You're watching Marian University women's basketball here on ISC and statewide on Comcast Xfinity Cable Channel 81. Alongside Jan Bozier, my name is Greg Rakestraw, and yes, it is senior day, but because of the success of the Marian program, it's very unique. They could play as many as 5 more home games in this building over the course of the next 3 weeks. In fact, the Marian women know they are playing here on Tuesday night. Exactly whom they're playing yet will be determined by other results elsewhere in the league. But this is about as pressure-free of a game as you can have for Marian. They know they're the league champs. They know they're the 1 seed. They can focus on honoring all 3 of those seniors, including one of the young ladies on your screen in Shanice McQuay.
Yeah, but still a big game from the perspective to prepare for those types of games. You got to continue to play some of your best ball. I thought the last 2 games, their defense got back on track, and that's really what this girls' team's all about.
Well, let's face it, we saw them lose for the first time in league play in over 2 years. Beaten by St. Francis last Wednesday. St. Francis played great. A couple of questionable whistles at times during the course of that game that kind of played against the Knights, and they have played angry since that time, which is probably what you want to see if you're head coach Steve Brooks. At 24-3 and having had 1 loss since November the 13th, clearly this team is peaking at the right time, and they're expected to make a deep tournament run come March.
I've always believed a loss can actually mean something. Nobody ever wants to lose. But if you can take that loss and take it and build from it, all the reasons you don't ever want to lose again, maybe it might be that extra spark this team needs going into the tournament.
Much as Marian kind of knows what their postseason is going to look like at this point, knowing they're going to be in the NAIA National Tournament and likely hosting a regional here at the PE Center. Spring Arbor also has a rare sense of finality as well in the other direction. They know they're not going to qualify for the Crossroads League tournament. Their season ends today. It's a very young basketball team, numerous freshmen up and down the lineup, 3 seniors as well. What's their mindset and mantra knowing the season ends less than 2 hours from now?
Well, a whole lot of freshmen. In fact, the leading scorers are freshmen. They can come in here and play loose. And listen, you and I have been around. There was nothing better than beating a team on senior day, homecoming day. There's those little events that you just love to destroy. So they're going to come in here and be dangerous if Marian's not ready to play.
We'll take this quick timeout when we come back. Starting lineups and opening tip-off of this regular season finale for Steve Brooks' basketball team. It's Marian and Spring Arbor, and it comes your way next on ISC and Comcast Xfinity Cable Channel 81.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
The minute I stepped foot on campus, I didn't want to leave.
The nursing program is why I chose Marian.
I'm studying to be a teacher.
I'm a business major.
I love Marian University.
An exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu. Still
waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
I've always liked Indianapolis. I've been interested in the bigger city life. The community and everything fell into place.
With my degree, I plan on becoming a pediatric nurse. Indianapolis has several hospitals and different options to choose from as to where I should go.
I chose Indianapolis because I love the Pacers, I love the Colts, and this is a basketball city. I just wanted to stay in the city, play in front of my friends and family, and try to give Marian my best.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. They've been in business for 35 plus years. I'm here with the owner, Richard Michaelis. Hey, Richard, what's the key to the growth over the last 35 years?
Pat, I believe being a family-owned local business that is involved in the community has a lot to do with it.
All right, so you have a lot of services. Tell us about some of those services.
We're really strong in the emergency services, smoke, fire damage restoration, storm and water damage restoration, all while working with your insurance company. We also do mold remediation, basement and crawl space waterproofing, foundation repair, and roof repair. We are a full-service company.
All right, as to the owner, we know you wear a lot of hats. What do you do day to day?
I really love being out in the field working with our clients. It gives me a great opportunity to understand their needs so we can take care of them.
Your hands-on approach, I think, has a lot to do with the success of Michaelis. If you find yourself needing their services, give them a call anytime, 24/7 at 844-FIX-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation. Construct, renovate, restore.
While we were away, Marian volleyball player Avery Landman did a fantastic job on our national anthem. Now let's turn it over to Mark Erdosi, the public address voice of the Marian Knights, with the announcement of today's starting lineups.
Junior from Orion, Michigan, number 20, Keegan Cameron. At guard, a 5'11 freshman from Sand Lake, Michigan, number 21, Taylor Folkema. At forward, a 6-foot senior from Middleville, Michigan, number 22, Grace Shoebridge. At forward, a 5'10 senior from Lawrence, Michigan, number 23, Dalen Jackson. The Cougars head coach in the 11th season is Ryan Frost. Ladies and gentlemen, starting lineups for the Spring Arbor University Cougars. And now the starting lineups for your Marian University Knights. At forward, a 5'11 junior from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 42, Kennedy Gerard. At guard, a 6-foot sophomore from Danville, Indiana, number 13, Ella Collier. At guard, a 5'7 senior from South Jordan, Utah, number 20, Shanice McQuay. At center, a 6'4 senior from Columbus, Indiana, number 10, Imani Guy. Rounding out the Knights starting lineup is a 5'7 senior point guard from Avon, Indiana, wearing number 3, Abby Downer. The Knights head coach in his first year, Steve Brooks. Ladies and gentlemen, starting lineup for your Marian University Knights.
Again, great job as always by Mark Erdosi on the announcements of today's starting lineups. By the way, our 3-man officiating crew for today's contest. We have a good one put together as well. Chad Beck, Adam Abu-Baker, and Michael Sloan will be handling the officiating duties in today's contest. Jan, final thoughts before this one tips off.
Greg, just one more word. How about these 3 seniors, what they've meant to this program? The experience, the leadership, not to mention the 35 points per game that they bring to this women's ball club, but there's so much special to what they do, their leadership. This is a close-knit group. You sit out here and watch them warm up. This is a really close-knit group, and it's led by these 3 seniors.
And again, let's acknowledge the fact that Imani Guy and Abby Downard have both taken advantage of the full 5th season. They were seniors a year ago, elected to take the COVID waiver and come back for one more year, and their names will be all over the record books at Marian University. But again, they are thinking about a national championship. That is certainly a possibility for this group. Today, the next step in that process. Shoebridge jumps in center for Spring Arbor. It is Imani Guy that has the honor for Marian, and we thank you for giving us the honor of spending your Saturday afternoon with us on ISC and MyIndy TV. Zone defense being employed here by Spring Arbor. They have 10 players in uniform today, do the Cougars. McQuay in the lineup replacing Allison Bossy. Collier from 19 does not get that to go. And then Guy is going to be called for the quick bump on the rebound opportunity.
Yeah, you talk about the big picture in not only the conference championship, the NAIA championship. That's why, on paper, this game doesn't look important other than senior day. This game is really big and important to the Knights.
Marian won by 15 on Wednesday night, including outscoring Mount Vernon Nazarene 19-9 in the 4th quarter. It is a Marian team that does not blow out a lot of teams because they are so tough defensively. Marian going to try to win a lot of games in the kind of 70 to 50 range because of what they do. And clearly tempo-wise, Spring Arbor will want to play kind of at that level as well. Nice slip by Downard. Downard's bucket is good. Normally, it's Abby dropping the dime. Today, she gets the assist to start the contest.
That's what Abby does so well. We've mentioned it through the year. She just continues to move without the basketball.
12 points, 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists a game. Had a program record 9 steals in Wednesday's victory against Mount Vernon Nazarene. The Spring Arbor team averaging just 54 points a game. Offense has been a struggle for them all season long. And with that, they turn it over for the first time. They turn it over 19 times a game, do the Cougars. And Marian, vice-like defensively, allowing 55 points a game, which is 11th best in NAIA women's basketball.
Well, against a team like Spring Arbor, you want to get off to a really good start.
McQuay lets fire. That does not go, but Guy keeps it alive, and Downard will take the easy 15-footer. So Guy with 17 points and 8.5 rebounds a contest.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a quarterback that I call Abby Downard communicate any better than she does. Among all the things she does as a basketball player, Greg, she never stops communicating with her ball club.
Coach's kid.
Yeah,
grew up around it.
That's a lot. We're going to be talking about a coach's kid in game number 2, and there's something special about that.
Her father, Tom, was on the floor with her as she was honored as part of this 3-person senior class. And Abby is a mom as well. Her son was out there with her, which was very cool to see. In fact, there were 4 generations of the Downard family that were part of that senior day celebration. Basket cut by Gerard. Only problem was she wasn't looking for the ball. First Marian turnover. This is Abby Schwartz, one of the many freshmen you'll see in action today for Spring Arbor. The Spring Arbor program has lost their last 18 against Marian. McQuay flying down the floor. Left-handed layup does not go. Gerard's putback also no good, but Kennedy Gerard will shoot 2 free throws.
Well, if you're going to be competitive against Marian, you got to try to change what they do so well, and that's pace the game. As you talked about, the Knights love to really be in the half court. Spring Arbor, quite honestly, is a half-court ball club as well. So they're going to have to find some buckets if they're going to stay in this game and transition a little bit.
Gerard 64% from the free throw line, and the junior from Pike does not get that to go. Gerard 4 times in a game this year has had 6 or more block shots. As a junior, she is number 5 in program history in block shots. You would think that honor would fall to the 6'4" Amani Guy, and she certainly is imposing in there, but Gerard is every bit as quick off of her feet in altering shots, and in the 2 games that Amani Guy did not play, Gerard was absolutely massive in giving Marian victories that week. Downard got her hands on that one. Good job by Collier to get to the floor. It will be a jump ball. The possession arrow will keep it right here. Substitution. Sierra Lips will check in for the Cougars. She is one of 3 seniors playing in today's game for SAU. Unfortunately for the Cougars, a 6th consecutive losing season that was long since wrapped up. On the back of the basket, Collier got a piece of that. Shot taken and missed by Shoebridge, one of the other seniors on the floor for Spring Arbor. Collier turns down the trailer 3. Hand check foul. Whistled by Chad Beck against the visitors from Michigan.
And although the Knights are a half-court ball club, what Abby Downer does for the half-court is she really kind of quickens the pace of this half-court set that Marian uses. She just brings another gear really to the rotation of the half-court.
Just an ollie, that time by Collier. Just dribbled it right off our foot and then kind of compounds the miscue with committing a foul. Collier 15 points, 3.5 rebounds, 3 assists a game. Another thing that you love about this Marian team is Allison Bossy going to check in here for Marian. Going to replace Kennedy Gerard as the Knights go smaller. But looking at Collier and Downard, 2 of your top 3 scorers, those 2 are 95 and 93% from the free throw line on the season.
Yeah, Marian as a whole is a very difficult team to put to the free throw line because they can literally put ball games away at the free throw line. You like to see them get there quite a bit.
Bossy jumps in. The Hendricks County connection is strong on this Marian team. Down the skip pass for Collier. Brownsburg and Danville represented on the floor. McQuay, the three, that does not go. Fight for the loose ball. I think it was touched last by Guy. It will be out of bounds to Spring Arbor.
Really good possession. I love the spacing. When Marian does their spacing and get ball rotation, they are really good in the half court.
Well, C. Brooks agreed with you because he immediately started clapping his hands and said, hey, way to move the ball.
Yeah,
he liked what he saw from that possession.
Excellent possession. You'll take that every day.
Marian, solid three-point shooting team. As Guy got a hand on that one, 35%. But Marian, because they are so big and so talented in the front court, they shoot the three less than most teams do. They make less than 4.5 a game. This Marian team is kind of a throwback team.
It is. But they can shoot the three.
Right.
If they need to, they can, and that's key.
They'll seize part, but steps called. Taylor Folcom up, leading scorer as a freshman for Spring Arbor at 14 points a contest. And that is 5 giveaways by the Cougars in the game's first 4.5 minutes. So this zone has slowed Marian. They have not seen much zone this year. Collier goes high-low with Guy.
Yeah, but honestly, it's not a bad thing for Marian because they will see some zone in the tournament. So this is actually kind of good for Marian to see this.
Collier lines it up, and that is the reason why most teams don't zone Marian.
Exactly right.
Because, frankly, the fulcrum point of the offense against a zone for Marian switches from Lonnie Guy to Ella Collier.
Right, and when you got 43% out there, that's why you don't want her shooting.
The all-time leading scorer in the history of Hendricks County. Not just girls and boys. All-time leading scorer in that county's history is Ella Collier. Downard again. Soft spot of the zone left it short. Ball goes right to her. She might get a third look out of it here.
She got her 2 rebounds in that possession.
McQuay's runner is good. Shanice McQuay, and an immediate timeout taken by Spring Arbor. A full timeout. We'll take it with them. Marian off to a solid start on Senior Day. They lead 10-0 here on ISC and Comcast Xfinity, cable channel 81.
Is your building haunted or infested with icky snakes? Then tear it down. The Raised Trash Demolition Squad can flatten buildings up to 3 stories tall. Whether it's a commercial or residential structure, the Raised Trash Demo experts will make it go boom. And with their roll-off containers, they'll haul away the mess quicker than you can say, hey, there used to be a building there. Bring your old fire trap to its knees with Raised Trash.
RaisedTrash.com.
Raised Trash.
I have so much support from my advisors.
The nursing program is why I chose Marian.
I'm studying to be a teacher.
I chose Marian for the business program.
Marian University, an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Welcome back to the PE Center. Greg Rakestraw, Jan Bozier with you on ISC. Again, it is Senior Day. It is our final regular season broadcast, but Jan pretty much is going to take up residence here in this building
by me.
For the next week. Last year, Marian played the max amount of home games you could. Their women was the 1 seed. They ended up making the conference championship game. They got beat by Indiana Wesleyan. The men were the 2 or the 3. I forget which one they were, but they had some upsets in the tournament. Allowed them to host all 3 games as well. The men, the defending conference tournament champions. As it is set up now, Marian could host 5 of 6 games in the Crossroads League tournament. We'll have every one of them for you, both on ISC and statewide on Comcast Cable, channel 81. Downard picks the pocket.
There's another steal.
And she had 9 on Wednesday. She's got at least 1 today, and she's got 3 field goals to start.
She will be the all-time leader.
On the drive, and Spring Arbor, good look that would not go. Daylin Jackson. But Jackson then wrestles it back. Spring Arbor proceeds to give it away.
You know, Greg, I've had exposure to this tournament in the boys' side years ago, and I can tell you that very few people put on the game like Marian does. So the fact they get to have so many games, I got to tell you, is super special for the athletes, for the parents, for the crowd, everybody.
Good basket cut by Bossy. Bossy's jump shot just just off for the usual starter. Again, she comes off the bench today because of it being senior day. Another former Indiana All-Star for this Marian squad. On the drive, and foul is called, and we'll see free throws for the first time for Abby Schwartz. McQuay picks up the foul. Natalie Shellberg will check in for Spring Arbor, a 5'10 sophomore. Schwartz on the season, a 71% free throw shooter.
I would imagine we'll see a lot of bench play today. Get a lot of girls, a lot of exposure. Kind of one of those games where you want your starters to get a lot of reps. On the other hand, it's a game where you can get some exposure to your bench as well.
And it's a Marian team that does not go overly deep into their bench. Normally it's kind of an 8-player rotation, but today's a day you might extend that a little bit. Full court pickup here by Spring Arbor. Guy will take a seat. Gerard comes back in, and Jayla Wayner in for the first time. Started a handful of games this year. So a 2-point guard look with Wayner and Downard on the floor. 4-guard lineup here for Marian.
I thought Wayner played pretty well the other night. She's getting more minutes, and she's going to be a lot of the future here for Marian.
No doubt. She's the starting point guard the next 2 years, maybe 3. Again, because get this clash, again, you go, okay, do you want to take that 5th year? Do you want to have that COVID exemption? McQuay, a good look that would not go. Drive down the lane. McQuay going to be called for a foul, her second. And more free throws coming up here for Taylor Folkema.
Well, Folkema is the leading scorer here on this very, very young Cougar ball club, averaging just under 14. You got to think, at least for Spring Arbor, that with the 10 freshmen and 2 sophomores, there's a lot of experience going to be gathered here with all these young ball club, with this young ball club, Greg.
And 1 of 2 from the strike. So all the points so far for Spring Arbor have come from the line. Marian, not the smoothest of starts offensively. 5 of 13 from the floor. Gerard sizing up her options. Wayner, a capable 3-point shooter on that right side. But it's Downard that will take the 10-footer.
Have I mentioned that Abby's one of my all-time favorite best players? I just love the way she plays the game. There is a certain, you put whatever you want, how she plays the game, it's just unbelievable to me.
She's got 8 of the 14 so far for the Knights. Knights have forced 8 turnovers in the opening stages. Good double team by Gerard. And then Gerard rips it away. Arrow's going to be called, but arrow points towards Marian as well, so make that turnover number 9.
Really good backside support for the Knights.
By the way, he flashed you a quick shot of the Spring Arbor sideline. That's Tyler Hughes. He is the interim head coach for Spring Arbor. So again, as Jan alluded to, there's a lot of talent coming back, but you're not sure what the future on the sidelines is going to look for this Cougar program. And they have struggled to keep pace in this tremendous basketball league. Downard fires a 3. That does not go, and Gerard could not wipe the rebound away.
You've mentioned multiple times on broadcast how tough this league is, especially now at the top. In order to get up to play at that level, it is a tough chore.
Spot up 3 does not go, and Downard hustling for the rebound and weaving her way through traffic. And a steal right back. It's Folkema with the pick of the pocket of McQuay. Spring Arbor playing hard, just not getting much success at the offensive end. As I say that, there is the first made basket, and Shellberg with a triple.
Now, they don't shoot a lot of threes. When they do, they've only been hitting at about a 26% pace. So a young ball club, one of the things you have to do is get confidence, and as a freshman, that's difficult. So scoring has been a little bit of a problem for them.
Wayner lines one up and couldn't get it to go. Marian now 6 of 16 from the floor. Spring Arbor 1 of 6. Shot clock and game clock are virtually identical. In fact, 10-second call is given because the guard was walking the ball so slowly up the court. And again, that's not an official counting it. That's simply lining up the shot clock. And literally as she hit the time stripe, it was at 20. Automatic call. Now the Knights can hold for a final look if they so choose. Collier back in.
Nice pass.
Great feed. Gerard scores it.
Gorgeous pass. That's a veteran pass right there.
And clock is on your screen. Cougars should get a final look. They won't. And that is the end of the quarter. Marian, a 10-point lead through 10 minutes of basketball. Looking for their 25th win of the season. Abby Downard enjoying senior day so far. She's got 8 here on ISC and Comcast 81.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work. It can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 1.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Back inside the PE Center, Greg Rakestraw, Jan Bozier with you. Thanks to our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Jordan Shue, Eric Connect, Kevin Rauterman, Aaron Van Wolde, and the rest of our tremendous crew. David Kahn a part of that as well. Spring Arbor with the basketball. Trailing at 16-6 again. It is their season finale for Marian. They await other results to see whom they will play in the 1-8 game of the Crossroads League tournament. Marian winning the regular season league title for a record-tying 7th consecutive year. Again, Indiana Wesleyan did win the conference tournament here last year. That is who, by the way, Marian played the first game of the conference season. This one just kind of thrown at the rim, and Collier able to track it down. So Guy back out there after a brief respite for the Knights. What is the usual starting 5 for the Marian Knights now on the floor together? Shot clock at 11. Bench counting it down. Collier readies. Couldn't get it to go.
You know, at times I got to remind myself that Collier's just sophomore. You know, as we close the first period, she made a beautiful pass, but what was so impressive about that, she could have shot it, but made a pass and got the better shot. She's really, really matured quickly.
Spring Arbor 3 does not go. That was Shellberg that made the earlier 3, the only field goal so far for the Cougars. Collier, the inside out to Bossy. So Marian so far 1 of 7 from three-point range. I'm not sure they've taken a bad shot yet. Just not getting them to go.
Yeah, you can't criticize the shot selection at all. It's really been crisp, and just the shooting has not been there today. And what happens sometimes when you play a team like a very young team, just not quite as crisp mentally, and that kind of exchanges over to shooting not quite what it needs to be. Let's see if they can get going here.
And again, you wonder how many teams kind of, see this tape and go, okay, here's the game plan.
Yeah.
And Gerard, even the 6'4" Amani guy, couldn't track that one
That's
down.
a great point, Greg, because you know that a lot of teams are going to be watching this tape and go, what is the recipe to compete against Marian?
Coach Brooks approaching 600 wins. Won 2 national championships at Indiana Wesleyans, but the last 4 years at St. Francis in Joliet, Illinois. Top of the key 3, left short, and Downard couldn't hang on to it.
Couldn't quite hang on to it.
Already has 5 rebounds, does Abby so far. Shoebridge returns for Spring Arbor. Or she exits, excuse me. Cougars have played 7. Knights have played 7 as well to this point. Neither team has scored here so far in the quarter. The ball thrown off the knee of a Monty guy.
Really good matchup defense by the Knights. Really making it difficult for the Cougars to get open here. The defense has been solid.
And Schwartz is not used to seeing this much of a wall in front of her trying to inbound the basketball.
That's true.
Bossy.
Great defense.
Rips it away. Good look ahead pass to Collier. And Collier takes the bump. And we'll get 2 free throws.
Well, that's what happens when you run the floor. Great pass to Collier. Collier kind of anticipated getting some contact, and she did. Well, it's good to see her moving really what seems to be normal on that ankle, where she came up a little bit gimpy in a couple games ago on that loss. Boy, that was concerning.
For Collier, that is her 3rd missed free throw this season. Connects on that one, no problem. It's a story when she hits the rim on a free throw, let alone misses one. It's not been Marian's best day shooting so far, but again, defensively they have lived up to their billing as one of the best in NAIA basketball. Spring Arbor 1 field goal in 12.5 minutes played. And Downard read it perfectly.
You seen that one coming.
Races to the other end with a left hand, lays it up and in. Downard with 10. By the way, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals for Downard in today's game.
They still have 7 minutes left in this quarter.
What I'm trying to tell you is she might be celebrating senior day with a triple-double in today's game.
That'd be great.
Shot blocked by Gerard. Again, she is the eraser. Frankly, players just don't go at a Monty guy. At 5'11", you think, okay, maybe I got a chance here, and Gerard can, if not actually doing it in her mind, wave the Dikembe Mutombo finger on that one.
Gerard plays so physical inside. They have such a great chemistry. All these girls have a unique what they bring to the this offense.
It's a great mix that Steve Brooks has to work with in his first year here, of course, replacing Katie Geralds, the women's coach at Purdue, who won a pair of national championships here. Guy off of 1 foot. Guy simply has not been that much of a factor today for Marian and hasn't needed to be. And again, the zone kind of mitigates some of the things that she will do. It is a 30-second timeout taken by Spring Arbor. We'll keep it right here. This 30-second timeout presented by AAA Roofing. When it rains, it pours, so trust the pros at AAA Roofing. That's who we call. And a reminder, we'll have the men's game for you at approximately 3 o'clock. Head coach Scott Hetty's team will have 8 players in uniform for today's game, as they're dealing with multiple injuries. In fact, they are going to lift the red shirt off of Scott's son Luke, who has been out with a hip injury all year. Frankly, he's been healthy since December, but the plan was to redshirt him this season. But Luke has volunteered to say, all right, let's play. And Marian has the number 2 seed wrapped up, regardless what happens against Spring Arbor today. But look forward to seeing the Knights and Luke Eddy make his season debut coming up at about 3 o'clock.
Yeah, when you sent me that information, I go, not only wow, but you know what? It makes sense. I mean, they have such a quality team to do something special that he can bring some maybe more pieces that really might help him.
Bossy pokes the ball away, but can't track it down. That's going to be a blocking foul on Downard. It'll be her first and team's first foul of the quarter.
You know, especially when you just never know when that next injury might hit you. You can't have too much depth going into the playoffs. You just can't.
Folkema trying to get some work done, and Gerard
that's
just
solid.
Bumped up a spot in the Marian all-time blocks list. She's now 4th. 3 by Collier is good.
And that's Marian women in flow of their offense. Great passing.
But I will say this, other than a layup on a steal, they're not a transition team.
No.
So that's not what you're used to seeing, but Collier certainly can deliver.
But, Greg, you know as well as I do, there's going to be times in the tournament where you got to find some other ways to score. So if you can find a couple transitions, you don't have to get a lot. That may be the difference in a ball game.
Downer trying to bump up that assist number. Gerard couldn't finish at the other end. Schwartz didn't even look at the basket. She had to look from 14 feet away. Shot clock at 7. Ball's got to go up. Spring Arbor obliges, but does not hit the rim. The Cougars now 1 of 14 from the floor to start today's game.
Yeah, we talked about the shooting difficulties. They only shoot 37% from field goal area and 26 behind the arc. So it's something you have to get through when you have so many young players.
Bossy turns down the open 3, trying to find Guy. Ball was poked away. Now Schwartz dishes. Shot blocked by Guy, but had a hand in the back. Got the ball cleanly, but there was a bit of a hand in the back that time. And Amani Guy picks up her 2nd foul. It was clean up top, but we have the reverse angle where I saw that little nudge trying to go up and knock that away. So Shoebridge will shoot 2, a 68% free throw shooter. And 3 of the 6 points for the Cougars so far from the free throw stripe. And they add to that here. On the season, Spring Arbor 69% from the line.
Well, you just look at this record, Greg, for Marian, 24-3, and one of those 3 they kind of let slip away. Still a loss for sure, but what an unbelievable season.
Rare offensive rebound for Spring Arbor. In fact, their 3rd of the game. Guy checks out with 2 fouls. Shanice McQuay back in to replace her. Sydney Awnins in for the first time for Spring Arbor. And then that'll be a jump ball. Arrow goes back to Marian.
Well, we've talked about the communication that the Marian girls does so well. Another thing they do a lot of, he'll switch a lot. Where a lot of coaches don't like to switch, Marian will switch a lot. And if you're good communicators, you can switch.
And especially with the 5 that are on the floor. Collier right down the lane and couldn't finish. Last touch by Gerard. So Marian a 15-point lead despite being south of 38% from the floor so far today. Shoebridge the turn. Got fouled and won.
They must. Do they get Collier on this?
Correct.
Yeah, they must got her. I was going to say, I thought the initial defense was clean, but they must got Collier from the backside.
So McQuay, Collier, and Guy all with 2 fouls here for Marian. Just the 2nd field goal for the Cougars in today's contest. Shoebridge backs it up with a free throw. And now Downard will come back in. I think Collier will sit. We need to force the issue with a 12-point lead already built for the Knights.
Collier never changes her expression.
Nope.
She just plays hard all game long.
1-2-2 full court pressure for Spring Arbor. Wayner deemed it's off her leg, out of bounds, off of Marian. Steve Brooks is saying, should that have been a foul at midcourt? Didn't think that Wayner had a chance to kind of turn and make the full catch. Kind of that cylinder call.
Coach Brooks has did a really great job coming here. You never know. He knew he had a great ball club, but there's that transition from comfort to one coach to the next, and he's really come in here, gained their confidence early, and really did a nice job taking over this program.
15 Spring Arbor turnovers. Game has had kind of its offensive fits and starts so far. Wayner. It's about as small as you'll see Marian play during the course of the year. Wayner turns down the 3, takes the pull-up 2, and probably could have gotten to the basket that time.
Still another decent shot from Marian, just not shooting real well from outside. Still has a 12-point lead, though.
On the basket cut. From 17, the baseline jump shot is good by Shoebridge. She's got 6, that lead is down to 10.
Shoebridge is a pretty good scorer for a senior. Just under 10 a game.
Spring Arbor has played hard. It's been holding on to the basketball that has been their issue, but defensively, McQuay misses. Defensively, Spring Arbor has done as good of a job as anybody has in terms of slowing down Marian so far this year.
Defensively, they quite honestly have put Marian right where they want them. They've just not been able to get a flow in their offense to tighten this game up offensively.
Shoebridge has 2 of the made 3 field goals so far for Spring Arbor. And Wayner did a great job of getting a hand in the passing lane there. But in the scramble for the loose ball, Spring Arbor picks it up. Shot's got to go up. Doesn't matter. Shot clock violation just happened. So it was last touched by Downard, but the shot clock violation gives the ball to the Knights.
I don't know if you've seen it or not, but Abby Downard comes from up at the top of the key, rotates all the way down to stop that defensive play. Just great recognition on backside, help side defense.
Gerard looking to get downhill, but well defended by the Cougars. Yeah, McQuay going to be called for steps.
That's unfortunate. I just like the way McQuay plays. She brings a sense of energy every time she comes into the lineup.
From South Jordan, Utah. And this is a team primarily of Indiana and Indianapolis area kids, but not exclusively. Wayner on the floor is from Pittsburgh. McQuay from Utah. Shot clock at 9. Ball's got to go up. Schwartz takes it. Does hit the rim. Gerard adds to her rebound totals. Marian has not scored in the last 4 minutes and 10 seconds until I bring up the stat. Works every time.
It does,
McQuay, the bucket.
Nice assist by Downer, but everybody running the floor still. I like the energy.
McQuay with 4. Just 4 players have scored to this juncture for Marian. They average 71 a game to the Knights. Nice backdoor cut, and the bucket is there for Daylin Jackson.
Really nice pass, Greg.
Senior averaging 9 points a contest. Spring Arbor has played Marian equally from an offensive standpoint here in this quarter. 8 points for each team in quarter number 2. And McQuay called for steps again. So back-to-back traveling violations for Shanice. And now Spring Arbor can hold for 1.
She's going over there talking to the physician. Are you sure? That's 2 you've called on me now. Could you knock it off?
Well, traveling calls have become a lot more liberal over the course of the last year or so. This has been more of a group that has called it to the letter of the law. Nice basket cut, the slip. Gerard got a piece.
Boy, didn't she ever, though. Nice timing on that block.
Clock is on your screen.
Oh, nice.
Down at the dime to McQuay. She didn't realize the time and did not get the shot away.
That's too bad. What a gorgeous look inside, Greg.
The good news for Spring Arbor is they're down to a top 10 team in the country by 10 points. The bad news is that they have scored 14 points in the first half. At the break, it is Marian 24, Spring Arbor 14. Back with more in a moment on Senior Day. As you're watching on ISC and Comcast Xfinity, cable channel 81.
Own a home? Here's a tip. Don't dump your garbage in the street. Neighbors get fussy about that sort of thing. Instead, count on Ray's Trash to haul it away. Ray's can supply 96-gallon waste and recycling bins that'll make you the envy of the cul-de-sac. And when you need a roll-off container for that big job, guess who's going to be there for you? That's right, Ray's. Your filth needs a place of its own. Ray's Trash will move it there. You know where to go.
Ray'sTrash.com.
Ray's Trash.
I went to Marian for the education, but what I took away was the experience.
Marian University is like a home to me.
Plus, downtown Indy is just 10 minutes away from campus.
Marian University offers an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today at marian.edu.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Now get financing as low as 1.99% APR on a new or used vehicle. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. They've been in business over 35 years. I'm here with Joe Polizzi to talk emergency services. Now, Joe, when I set my house on fire with a toaster, you were actually in my yard before the firefighters left.
Well, Pat, I remember that call like it was yesterday, and although I was disappointed that it was yours, I was happy that I was going to be able to provide some assistance.
You know, this true story, a firefighter actually told me I needed to call someone for emergency services, kind of obvious, and I told him Michaelis was on the way. He said, great, because they're the real deal. Joe, now what do you do in these situations when you show up?
Well, we try to be a calming influence, and we try to find out what the needs are of the family. Everybody's needs are different. Everybody's desires are different. What we try to do is match what we could provide with what they need and do it very smoothly.
I've lived it. If you find yourself needing emergency restoration service in the wake of a fire, flood, or storm, give the Michaelis Corporation a call anytime, 24/7, 844-FIX-INDY.
Finding a rhythm has not been a problem for the Marian dance team. Finding a rhythm in this game has been a problem for both Marian and Spring Arbor. Our score at the break, Knights lead by 10, 24-14. This portion of today's contest presented in part by Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, proud partner of the Marian University Knights. Greg Rakestraw, Jan Bozier. Just your impressions of kind of the struggle that both teams faced offensively in half number one.
Well, let's take a look at Marian. You know, it's a special day. Family's here, a lot of love and hugs and all those types of things, and rightfully so. But mentally, you now have got to switch to competitive nature, and quite honestly, Marian is missing just a little spark to their play.
The other thing that in watching this, and again, you and I get to see about a third of the Marian games during the course of the year. I'm trying to remember teams that played so much zone against Marian. And frankly, given how big Marian is, you would have thought that more teams would have done that. But I don't think Marian's seen that much zone this year. And the zone that Spring Arbor has played has kind of taken away Amani Guy. And while Marian's had good looks, I don't think they've taken many bad shots. They just haven't gotten many shots to fall at this point.
Yeah, I think you made the point earlier in the broadcast. Because of Collier, they don't get those zone looks because that can get the game taken away from you in a real hurry. So I think that the Cougars to go to that zone has kind of stymied the spark that Marian needs against that defense.
And Marian has played somewhat conservatively as well. Amani Guy had 2 fouls. She got pulled relatively early. Ella Collier had 2 fouls. She got pulled relatively early in the contest as well. Ella Collier with 7, Abby Downer with 10, Kennedy Gerard 3, Shanice McQuay 4. So far, 7 have played for the Knights. Grace Hubridge has 6. Natalie Shellberg has 3 to pace Spring Arbor. If you're Steve Brooks, what is your message to your team at halftime?
I think there's now, well, you don't want to talk about the next game during a game. You're still going to reference, guys, we can't play like this next game or we're going to go home early. So you've got to find it within yourself. Seniors, captains, all those types of things, guys. This next half is really the start of our next season. We got to play like it.
And if you're Spring Arbor, I think all you're referencing is the scoreboard. Guys, against the best team in our league, against a potential national championship contender, you're down by 10. Go have fun in half number 2.
Absolutely. Hey, if you take care of the ball, you're right within 10. You're right where you want to be on the road against the top team.
Turnovers have been plentiful for Spring Arbor. In fact, they have more of those, 16, than they have points, 14. Yet they trail by 10 at the break. It is 24-14 in favor of Marian. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with some first half highlights. That and more come your way next here on ISC and Comcast Xfinity, cable channel 81.
The minute I stepped foot on campus, I didn't want to leave.
Everyone here is about helping you succeed.
It's hard work, but it's totally worth it. I have so much support from my advisors.
The nursing program is why I chose Marian.
I'm studying to be a teacher.
I'm a business major.
My professors really challenged me, and I know I'll be ready for my career.
A great education is the best thing you could ever do for yourself.
Marian University, an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
Who's got time for hot dogs and disco music? Your mind's cluttered with thoughts of commercial waste removal. So thank the good Lord above for Ray's Trash. Ray's will collect the intolerable rubbish at all your company's locations up to 6 times a week. That's 42 times in dog weeks. They shred documents and recycle too. And Ray's has roll-off containers for big loads, like construction waste or when your giant dies. Got a business? Get yourself to raystrash.com.
raystrash.com.
Ray's Trash.
10-point lead for the Knights here at halftime on their senior day finale. Again, Marian knows they'll be here potentially for as many as 5 more games, 3 in the Crossroads League tournament, 2 in a likely NAIA regional coming here on March 11th and the 12th. Today's game presented in part by BSN Sports. BSN, the preferred provider of apparel for Marian University Athletics. Let's show you some of the highlights from half number 1. Frankly, at 24-14, we might show you every field goal from half number 1. And clearly the story has been defense on this senior day for Marian, having forced 16 turnovers. Abby Downard has been the star on both ends. She has 10 of Marian's 24.
Well, the good news, when you are able to play the caliber of defense that Marian does, you can have a night that you don't shoot the ball incredibly well and still be in pretty good shape. But I think Marian understands they got to pick up the offensive side. Defense super solid. We talked about that coming into this game. The last 2 games, the defense has been solid, Greg.
Defense always travels, does it not? You go back to last Saturday, Huntington scored less than 40. Clearly Spring Arbor is trending in that direction as well. And Kennedy Gerard and Amani Guy, both now top 5 in terms of career blocks here at Marian.
I think they want to get Amani Guy going. You know, with the zone, they really haven't had that opportunity, but they need Amani Guy going full speed ahead offensively going into the tournament. So I think, if nothing else, they're going to try to, really emphasize that simply to get her in a flow that they want not only for this game, but going into the tournament.
Some of the stats from this contest: Spring Arbor 4 of 19 from the floor for 21%, 1 of 5 from three-point range, 5 of 7 from the line. Marian, 10 of 27 from the floor for 37%, just 2 of 8 from three-point range. And the young lady on your screen, Anella Collier, has made both of those threes for Marian. Knights 2 of 4 from the stripe. Rebounds virtually identical, 18-15 in favor of the Knights. 9 turnovers by Marian, which is more than they are used to. 16 for Spring Arbor. Again, they've been averaging nearly 20 a contest. Points off turnovers, well, that's the difference in this game right now. Marian has 13 points off turnovers. Spring Arbor has 4. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back, get you ready for third quarter action here at the PE Center. Knights enjoying a 10-point lead in their regular season finale. They're on ISC and Comcast Xfinity, cable channel 81.
This is the Pepsi for America's best barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you. This is the Pepsi for serious fans and serious eats. This is the Pepsi for Sundays at the ballpark and days off at your favorite pizza joint. Right, Aaron?
Best slice in New York.
Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
The minute I stepped foot on campus, I didn't want to leave.
Everyone here is about helping you succeed.
It's hard work, but it's totally worth it. I have so much support from my advisors.
The nursing program is why I chose Marian.
I'm studying to be a teacher.
I'm a business major.
My professors really challenge me, and I know I'll be ready for my career.
A great education is the best thing you could ever do for yourself.
Marian University, an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
24-14 is the score. Both teams back on the floor. Marian getting ready. Spring Arbor about to for quarter number 3. Again, this is the first half of our women's-men's doubleheader, and normally you would say this is the last one of the season. But the Marian men have been on such a hot streak, they potentially have played themselves into also being able to host an NAIA regional here. If that is the case, you'd see 4 games in this building on March the 11th, and then 2 games on March the 12th. Obviously, what happens in the Crossroads League tournament will go a long way in determining that. As we have mentioned, Marian knows they are the number 1 seed on the women's side. Their men have locked up the number 2 seed in terms of the league tournament. Now, who Marian is going to play? Well, that is still up for discussion. In the women's tournament, it is quite simple. The 7 and 8 seeds play each other today in terms of Goshen and Bethel, and the reward for winning that game, you avoid coming to Indianapolis on Tuesday night. So Marian will play either Goshen or Bethel. Whoever loses that contest this afternoon will be the opponent for Marian coming up on Tuesday night. And again, we will have every Crossroads League tournament game that is played in this building over the next 10 days. Myself, John Herrick, or Thad Van Dievender will have the call alongside Jan Bozier. Women play Tuesday, men play Wednesday. Semifinals, women Friday, men Saturday. Championship games the following week, Monday for the women, Tuesday for the men, February 28th and March 1st. And as long as there is basketball being played here at the PE Center, we'll have it for you on ISC.
You know, let's pass the word around. This place should be full with these teams play. I mean, they've accomplished so much. It's a great atmosphere, great place to watch basketball. If you can't, certainly watch us, but I'll tell you, these kids deserve a full house. They really do.
And, of course, with the proximity of the vast majority of teams in this league, it's not a problem. Now, Spring Arbor, one of the 2 out-of-state teams. Again, the Spring Arbor women and men, unfortunately, both will not qualify for the Crossroads League tournament. Mount Vernon Nazarene will, in terms of the Ohio member of this league. But if you kind of go to the original 8, dating back to the mid-central days, if you will, they will not have a problem bringing fans here to Indianapolis. And, of course, the home fans, I'm sure we'll see a lot of them, too.
I think it's going to be a great tournament. I really do. There's a select real bunch of quality teams that happen to be coming to this area. So I think it's really going to be something special. I'm super excited. When you ask me, would I be willing to do that? Are you kidding me?
I know. As long as they don't ask you on Sunday, you're pretty much good on very short notice. Any of the games we're going to do. Quick check of the standings. Marian again is the 1 seed. Indiana Wesleyan is the 2. St. Francis is the 3. And credit to St. Francis. They came in here and won a couple of weeks ago.
They did.
They have won their last 5 games. They are starting to play themselves kind of into the fringe of the NAIA tournament talk. If they can probably make a run, at least to the championship game, they might lock up an auto bid, but they could be the league's 3rd at-large team. Grace is maybe on the fringe of that conversation. You're kind of gotten accustomed to seeing 4 or 5 teams from this league make both the women's and men's national tournaments. I think the women's number is probably closer to 2 or 3 this year, but credit St. Francis. They're catching fire at the right time.
Well, they did, and obviously the win they had here was huge. It just did nothing but enhance their confidence and the way they were already playing. So, and they've played pretty well since that time too. So I think you're right with St. Francis. I would not want to play them.
Malia Kunkel, by the way, was the Crossroads League Player of the Week this past week for her efforts here in the league. Let's thank our friends at the M Club. Joining the M Club is the absolute best way to support student athletes at Marian University. You can learn more about the M Club by logging on tomunites.com. People seeing themselves on the video board here at the PE
They
Center
love it.
has become a very popular phenomenon these last 3 weeks, since we have added our feed that is seen statewide on Comcast Cable, as well as on iscsportsnetwork.com, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. That feed's available here in the building as well, and people like seeing themselves on television, except for you and I, who beg to be off camera whenever possible. So the usual starting five on the floor for the Knights. Abby Downard, Ella Collier, Allison Bossy, Kennedy Gerard, and Amani Guy.
Well, I know we say this a lot, but maybe as much, now as ever, the next 3 or 4 minutes of this second half, Marian needs to play their best ball. They need to find it mentally to kick it into the physical aspect.
You want to win the third quarter so you can kind of coast in quarter number 4. Schwartz will take the pull-up jump shot and rattle it home. Well, Schwartz gets her first field goal.
Wow, that's a big shot.
Averaging 4.5 points a game. She has 4 today. And back to the zone for Spring Arbor, and clearly no need to change because it worked.
Well, the longer they stay in that zone, Greg, the better for them.
Bossy, the triple. And Bossy's been hovering around 35% from three-point range on the season. Former Brownsburg Bulldog knocks it home. First player other than Collier to make a 3 today for the Knights. Gerard got a hand on it, but
nice pass.
Schwartz reverse layup and just kind of lost where she was on the floor.
Yeah, great look. Wasn't able to square up.
High-low. Guy, shot blocked. Well done by Folkema. Again, Guy has yet to score. But then Guy gets her hand on that pass. Fight for the loose ball. That will be another Spring Arbor turnover.
Guy's that player that seems to play better when she's being physical. When a team goes at her and really forces physical play, she seems to play at that level better than at this level, trying to find room in the zone. Certainly capable of it, but she just kicks it in when the physical play starts.
Marian, a tough team to press because they have so many good ball handlers on the floor at any given time. Quick glance at the sidelines as to what the set play is going to be against the zone. Shot clock at 7. Downard will fire a 3. That is off, and Abby has not had a good year shooting the ball from three-point range. Overall from the floor, she's over 50%, but has struggled from distance this year. On the drive, scoop and score. Folkema gets her first bucket of the game and draws the foul against Allison Bossy.
Well, I know you've said it, but we're going to say it again. The Cougars are hanging around here. And when you hang around, the longer you hang around, the more your confidence gains, and they certainly developed that after that first half. But they've come out and taken it right at Marian.
Missed the free throw, Guy the rebound. And this Spring Arbor program has lost their last 18 games played against Marian.
Marian needs a spark. Somebody needs to provide a spark for Marian here.
All-time Marian, 31-3 against Spring Arbor. Collier,
there you go,
lights the fire.
Right on cue, and she is that player who can do it.
So Collier with 10. Her third made triple. She and Downard both in double digits for the game. And Downard,
another steal.
Waiting for a teammate. So she'll just pull. Didn't have one coming and didn't line that one up properly. A good job by Bossy, though. Puts that right in the lap of Daryl Tibbs there next to the basket support.
You can't understate how good that is defensively to run the court and come all the way and break that pass up.
This is Jackson. And she's one of the 3 seniors that knows this is the last half of basketball. On the drive. Good look for Folkema, could not finish. Marian's been content to not force shots. They have set their half-court offense. Collier, a miss.
I like the shot, though.
Yep.
She needs to get in a three-point rhythm right now and just go off on it.
43% from three-point range in the season is Ella. And her shooting numbers this year, fantastic. 43% from three, 51% from the floor. Timeout going to be taken by Steve Brooks, a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Today's game presented in part by Indianapolis Credit Union, proud to support Marian University and now offers a free Marian Knights debit card with a free checking account. Get your Knights debit card today and show your support. Visit any IMCU branch or sign up online now at imcu.com. Membership savings required, federally insured by the NCUA.
You know, I'd really like to see Collier be just ever so slightly more selfish.
Yep.
She is that talented. She can really cause a lot of problems, what she can do. At times, she is sophomores, and I get it. You just don't want to take over. But quite honestly, it's now time. She is that player who can take over.
You've got to think that next year, with Guy and Downer departing, that happens.
Yeah, but there's room and time for it to happen now.
I would agree. You notice the last time that Marian had to have a game winner to win a contest, she's the one that made it.
She's the one, right.
It's the game at Indiana Wesleyan.
Oh, she got hit.
Yep. Somehow found her footing to be able to get the ball to Girard. And the possession continues for the Knights. Downard from 16. That one was off. After both teams found a little bit of rhythm offensively, we have kind of gotten back to the half-court slog that this game has largely been. Shoebridge left it short, but Fulcom able to grab the rebound.
Hey, let's give the Cougars some credit. Yep. They have not went away here.
Jackson.
There you go.
Jackson with 4.
Just that 10-point lead still.
Right, it's basically seemingly been a 10-point lead since the end of the first quarter. It's just kind of been in that range the entire time.
Got to get some people moving and get the ball moving. Gets a zone. They get somebody going to the middle.
Guy in the short corner. Finds Collier. Ball's got to go up.
Got to shoot it.
Collier obliges. No, but Girard the rebound, and Marian resets. Bossy turns down a look from 3. Ball's got to go up. Girard the runner. No. Spring Arbor the rebound, so a chance to make it a single-digit game this time down. Marian has made just one of their last 9 field goal tries. Splitting the defense. Runner does not go, but Guy cutting onto the basketball. Wayner will check in, going to give Downer a breather. And McQuay will check in. They're going to give Girard a break, and I think this is the way for Marian to attack the zone. You know, they play again the traditional 2 post players, and against a zone, you're probably better off with 1, and that's how Marian's going to go here.
Well, the thing that Marian doesn't do is get somebody at the top of the key much against the zone. So there's not a lot of room except going around the zone.
So Wayner in for Downard, McQuay in for Girard. Let's see if movement picks up a little bit here. Have Collier kind of floating in the middle against that zone. Let her play the point forward role.
See if the free throw line extended. Well, certainly the movement's better, but there's rarely anybody that kicks up to the free throw line.
And that's going to be a foul on Guy, which will be her 3rd. So Marian has not scored down the last 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Yet there has seemingly been a force field in terms of the lead at around 10.
Well, the problem for Marian, I mean, the Cougars are a couple basket runs away from really, really being close.
But they continue to turn the ball over at a pretty ample rate. That's 21. Collier lines it up.
Got to.
It's like a free throw, isn't it?
Got to. Got to have that in the offense more often than it is.
You can scrap the Normandale rules when she gets the ball at that point.
That's right.
Timeout taken by Spring Arbor. Again, a 30-second timeout. And again, let's keep it right here. This 30-second timeout presented by Miller Transportation. Family owned and operated since the 1930s and proud partners of Marian University Athletics. Facilities in Indianapolis, Louisville, and Columbus, Ohio. We specialize in transportation for collegiate professional sports groups, as well as school groups, corporate travel, weddings, private charters, bourbon tours, and more. Our fleet consists of premium 56-passenger motor coaches, air-conditioned school buses, trolleys, executive shuttle buses, Mercedes Sprinter vans, SUVs, and Cadillac sedans. Give them a call at 317-244-8599 or online at millertransportation.com to request your quotes.
Well, guess what you're probably going to see if you're Marian for some lower seed teams?
Zone.
So maybe not a bad thing today that you're playing against it, but once again, they've had better ball movement, Greg, in the last couple offensive possessions, but gotta go through Collier on the zone.
Wayner fighting for the loose ball. Schwartz able to track it back down. Now in the lane, Gerard couldn't get the block, got the foul instead, and the bucket is good.
Well, not a lot of backside help, and they caught Marian standing a little bit defensively.
So Folcom gets the bucket. She's got 5, and no Spring Arbor player has more than 6. And back to a 10-point game. This was a 19-point win for Marian last time these two teams played up in Michigan. Man-to-man now, this time down by
nice
Spring
high
Arbor.
Ball screen.
And immediately what happens?
Yes.
Ball gets to the low block, Gerard scores it.
And we've not seen a lot of high ball screens. That was a really nice play. High ball screen and got a movement right downhill towards the bucket.
Kennedy Gerard, junior from Pike, 11.6 boards a game, 64% from the line. Connects.
That was a nice little wrinkle. We have not seen that real high ball screen a lot in this ball game for Marian.
Connects. You know, you got some teams that'll run kind of a man offense against a zone, others that do not. But as soon as Spring Arbor went man, Marian pounced. Under 3 to play here in the quarter. Shot by Shellberg, left short. McQuay the rebound. And Wayner yet to score today. Averages 4 points a game. I think Marian's eyes have lit up in the fact that Spring Arbor has gone zone, or man-to-man rather. Even though McQuay missed the shot. Ball kicked.
You know, Greg, I heard Coach Painter from Purdue that they talk about the high ball screen. He said he thought he made an interesting comment. He says it's a lot of teams are not using it near as much because everybody does it.
Right.
Therefore, everybody's defense knows how to defend it.
You see it in practice every day.
Every day. So it doesn't become quite the weapon that it used to be. You now have to find other ways to be creative. I thought that was an interesting point.
I just give the ball to Jaden Ivey if I were there.
That's true, too.
Or to the 7-4 kid in the low block.
That's what I was thinking. Well, if you got Ivey, you don't need anything but him.
You can be as creative as that wall and score some points with that group. Shot clock at 6. Didn't forget the shot clock. Turnover forced by Marian.
Marian gets up in here. They can really kind of break this thing open going into the 4th period.
Largest lead has been 15 today for the Knights. Collier. Passes up the potential 2. Wayner's floater does not go. And also credit Spring Arbor. They have limited Marian to 6 offensive rebounds in today's game.
Yeah, I think their defense, for the most part, has been relatively solid all game.
And Folcom on the drive, got it to go.
Now, what you don't like here is the Cougars have found multiple layups here in this period.
She's got 8. Flat-footed tie in quarter number 2. Right now it's that way in quarter number 3. Gerard's put back no, but Really only one Spring Arbor player went to the board. 2 went there for Marian, Gerard, and McQuay.
McQuay really kind of bailed Marian out that time, or that would have been not a great possession.
And then Spring Arbor gives it away yet again. That's 23. Aunens will check in. She played briefly in the first half. Cameron back in there as well. So we have seen 8 in uniform, or 8 play, 10 in uniform for Spring Arbor today. Marian has played just 7. And back to the zone for Spring Arbor. Collier to McQuay in the corner for 3. No, but Bossy all alone on the weak side. Didn't have a good look to put it up, and Marian resets. Gerard, nice turnaround, just couldn't get the bucket to go.
Tough angle.
Marian shooting less than 32% from the floor today. Shot clock turned off. Schwartz trying to find an angle. Ball's got to go up. They'll get a look here. The runner left short, and that is the end of the half as Cameron could not connect. I think if you told Spring Arbor it'd be a 12-point game going to the fourth quarter, they'd take it. Knights lead at 37-25. Final 10 minutes of the regular season come your way next on ISC and MyIndy TV.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
The minute I stepped foot on campus, I didn't want to leave.
The nursing program is why I chose Marian.
I'm studying to be a teacher.
I'm a business major.
I love Marian University.
An exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
By the way, congratulations to Abby Downer, the last steal that she collected. That sets the program record for career steals. You knew it was a matter of time before that would happen. Marian has 14 steals in today's game. And from Nitro and everybody else, congratulations to Abby Downer.
It's such a talent. It's something that you develop. Obviously, you got to be quick, got to have quick hands, good hands. But anticipation's a big piece of that, too. Understanding where the ball will or probably go. And she does it as well as anybody. Congratulations. That's a record that'll be hard to break.
12-point lead for Marian.
Starters back on the floor now, Greg. Need to really finish strong here.
Again, Guy has not scored. This is on the heels of having 26 and 10. Her 7th double-double of the year in the victory against Mount Vernon Nazarene. Fulcom on the drive, got it again. Spring Arbor's found something with her getting to the basket.
Well, Marian's not switching at all. They're just playing straight up, and they're finding that just enough ball screen to get her an advantage down by the rim.
She becomes the first player for Spring Arbor in double figures. Bossy lines up a 3 and couldn't finish. I think Bossy thought that was in. She was starting to drift down the floor. Thought that was good. So again, a chance to make it a single-digit game.
You consider how many turnovers the Cougars have had, and they are still within 10.
Number is 23, by the way.
That is a bunch. And still just within 10.
You hear the shot clock being counted down. Ball's got to go up. Almost got it to go.
Oh, my.
Gets the rebound and scores it.
Oh, my. That's just effort. Absolutely just effort. Give her all the credit in the world.
That is all smiles right now over on the bench for Spring Arbor. And they are within 8. This is a team that has 1 conference victory. Collier had it poked away, and Spring Arbor recovers. And now they can make it a 2-score game with a bucket at this end of the floor. 3 from the left side, no good, and Gerard will track it down.
Coach Brooks would love them to just try to play through this. They scored there, and there was probably going to be a timeout.
Yep.
Let's see if they can get something going here.
Collier awaits in the corner and knocks it down.
There you go.
Her 5th 3 of the game.
That can't be a mystery. That has to be a known that you get it in her hands against the zone.
So 40-29. Now the scoreboard has that as a 2. We have it as a 3. Stats have it as a 3. Now the scoreboard is updated to 40 as well.
Nice
Tough.
pass.
That's a 4th foul on Guy.
Nice pass. See, there's too much room. When she's up that high, you can get that alley-oop pass. When it's deeper down to the block, you can't. There's just not enough space. That was a really good pass.
Aaliyah Evans is going to be asked to come on here for Marian. Aaliyah started to get more playing time. Last time we were here, ankle injury to Ella Collier. Foul troubles for Amani Guy. Aaliyah had 7 first-half points.
I thought she
Greensburg.
I thought she played pretty well.
Yeah, she started to take some of the minutes away from Majestic Sales, who was kind of the backup post for a good chunk of the year. So Aaliyah makes her game debut. On the drive to the basket, scoop and score. That's Lips. Sierra Lips gets her first basket for the senior. And back to a 9-point game. And back to the zone for Spring Arbor. Collier left alone. Collier misses it. Rebound to Evans. Instant bucket. Just checks in, put it up and in.
Well, I still like the shot from Collier because regardless if she hits it or not, something still good comes out of that.
Full timeout taken by Marian. We will exit stage left. Knights lead by 11 with 7:10 left to go here on ISC and MyIndy TV.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
I've always liked Indianapolis. I've been interested in the bigger city life. The community and everything fell into place.
With my degree, I plan on becoming a pediatric nurse. Indianapolis has several hospitals and different options to choose from as to where I should go.
I chose Indianapolis because I love the Pacers, I love the Colts, and this is a basketball city. Just wanted to stay in the city, play in front of my friends and family, and try to give Marian my best.
Marian University basketball at ISC and Comcast Xfinity, Cable Channel 81. Greg Rakestraw and Jan Bozier with you. Again, the men's game will follow at approximately 3 o'clock. Marian men have wrapped up the number 2 seed. Again, Marian, the number 1 seed. And again, they have likely done enough to be able to host an NAIA regional regardless of what happens in terms of this game or even the Crossroads League tournament at 24-3. This has not been Marian's best effort. I shouldn't say it's not an effort problem, just haven't made a lot of open jump shots.
Well, I think the speed of the game, the zone, a lot of factors, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You've got to figure out whatever's thrown against you and figure out how to handle it.
Figuring a way to overcome. Downard
steal.
Adds to her program steals record. Now going to look to add a dime. Collier couldn't finish it.
Coach Brooks not happy they didn't finish there. And I completely understand.
Evans got a hand on it. That's just been kind of indicative of Marian's day offensively. They are 16 of 50 from the floor. Normally, they shoot 50% from the floor.
I don't think Coach Brooks is as upset offensively as he is defensively.
I'm pretty sure that Downard can play defensive back for the Knights at this point. The way she reads the passing lane. She's got a dozen. Maybe it's that mother's intuition. She knows what the next step is going to be. And Gerard couldn't stop her momentum, and frankly, that's a benefit for Marian because if there's no contact, that's an easy look for Shoebridge.
Well, you talk about seniors and the marathon that it is. Surviving 4 years, the dedication, the commitment that's required, it's a lot. It really is.
Left-hand shot was a good look for Shoebridge, just couldn't finish. She's got 6. So a chance to push the lead to 15 or 16 here with less than 6 to play. Evans lets fire. That does not go.
Boy, 3 there really could have forced them out of that zone.
Collier is 5 of 9. The rest of her team has 1 made 3. That was Bossy early in the third quarter. By the way, Downer now sitting on 6 steals. It was her 4th, but gave her sole possession of the program record. Schwartz from 17, no, and Downard collects a rebound, her 8th. So she already has the points for a double-double or a triple-double. Evans, kick to Collier. Downard 2 rebounds away from a double-double. She is potentially 4 steals away from a triple-double. Gerard in the lane.
Much better patience, Greg. Much better ball movement and better patience.
Just the second made field goal by Gerard. And Marian's lead of 15 is the largest they have had in the second half. Shoebridge looking to go to work. Schwartz will fire the 3. That does not go, and Gerard.
Good check out.
Worked the block out drill very well. I think Marian asked if that was a kickball. Officials say no. That was simply thrown off the leg of the player. Didn't make an attempt to kick it.
I don't believe it was a kickball either. Just because it goes off the leg doesn't make it a kickball.
You have to make that kicking motion to get that whistle. Shoebridge hits the 18-footer.
Absolutely think it was the right call. Now a little zone pressure. Let's see how Marian handles this.
The answer is very well. Again, with Downard and Wayner on the floor, that's 2 point guards.
Yeah, and that's a great point because they make it very difficult to press them.
Downard turned down the jump shot in the lane. Collier will pull from 15. Gerard kept it alive off the window and scores.
And that's what she can bring to this ball club. That's kind of the spark, if you will, that I think that Marian needs is to get her active.
Timeout taken by Marian. Again, we will step aside. The lead is 15 with 3:40 left to play as Marian looks for win number 25 on the season on ISC and Comcast 81.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. They've been in business for 35-plus years. I'm here with the owner, Richard Michaelis. Hey, Richard, what's the key to the growth over the last 35 years?
Pat, I believe being a family-owned local business that is involved in the community has a lot to do with it.
All right, so you have a lot of services. Tell us about some of those services.
We're really, really strong in the emergency services, smoke, fire damage restoration, storm and water damage restoration, all while working with your insurance company. We also do mold remediation, basement and crawl space waterproofing, foundation repair, and roof repair. We are a full-service company.
All right, as to the owner, we know you wear a lot of hats. What do you do day to day?
I really love being out in the field working with our clients. It gives me a great opportunity to understand their needs so we can take care of them.
Your hands-on approach, I think, has a lot to do with the success of Michaelis. If you find yourself needing their services, give them a call anytime, 24/7 at 844-FIX-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation. Construct, renovate, restore.
Back at the PE Center. They to celebrate for the Knights. They lead by 15. Spring Arbor, a team that has offensively struggled all year long. They average 54 points a game. Regardless of what happens the last 3:40, I think they can be very proud of the effort what they gave in their season finale today.
Yeah, I agree, Greg. I thought they came out and they had a game plan that worked pretty well for 3 quarters. Marian has played a little bit better here to close this thing out.
Evans got a tip on that one.
I think what has happened, Coach Brooks, has went to a little smaller lineup,
Yep.
tried to pick the pace of the game up, if you will, to try to get some flow to their offense.
Throw it off the back of Downard and got her napping. Smart play by Schwartz.
Yeah.
I think they'll say foul on the shot, I believe. Yep, 2 coming up.
You don't see that play a lot, but it's a heads-up play, really, with the out-of-bounds player just tapping off the back of the defender because their back's to her.
Schwartz misses from the line. She made 2 in the first half. Connects here. Schwartz matches uniform number with 5. 1-2-2 full court pickup. Gerard.
Nice pass.
Runs the floor, got fouled. She'll shoot 2.
Downard really with her head up as always and running the floor. And I think what we talked about, Greg, with a little smaller lineup, the pace of that game has certainly, I think, right now helped Marian because they're finding some, some opportunities offensively in the full court transition game. And you talked about it earlier. It's not something they do a lot, but against a team like this, you got to shake something up.
So Gerard becomes the third Marian player to go for double digits today with 10. Trying to add to that. Couldn't do it. She's now 4 of 6 from the line today, is Kennedy.
Downard had 118 assists coming into the ball game today. How many she got today?
She was at 4, and frankly, she's had a couple of ones that she should have had that players simply missed layups or easy looks.
122.
As Shellberg misses. 15-point lead, 3 minutes left to play, and Evans will back it out. And Collier fouled on the drive, just the second team foul against Spring Arbor. Guy will come back in, and I think if it's any other game than senior day, she stays on the bench. But I would imagine that I would hope that McQuay kind of gets the chance to come back in as well, so you give those seniors kind of one final send-off. Wayner with the shot clock at 20. Downard changed her mind in midair. Bossy, no, but Collier will track it down. The possession continues. Now Downard from 15.
Good ball movement.
Downard 14 points. She's a rebound away from a double-double. Don't think she's going to get their steals wise at this juncture. But the 17-point lead is as large as it has been today. And again, as we mentioned, McQuay is going to check back in. That way you can kind of have the final curtain call for all of the seniors. The curtain call for Amani Guy is right here because she just fouled out.
She just fouled out.
And Amani has her worst game of the year on senior day. But that's okay. Get it out of the way on a day where your team is 17 points or so better. And again, she'll have as many as 5 more games in this building between now and March 12th.
And let's be honest, Marian's going to need her.
Yep.
She is a mismatch problem, and if you make it a problem, teams can suffer because of it.
Let's be blunt about this. There is no other post that can match her at this level.
That's exactly right. And you need to expose that if you're Marian.
So Jackson hits 1 of 2. She's got 5 points. Timeout called, a 30-second timeout taken by Spring Arbor. This 30-second timeout presented by the Michaelis Corporation. From ground-up building projects to around-the-clock emergency security services, no one answers your prayers or the phones quicker than Michaelis. Call 844-FIX-INDY.
Well, I think Marian's offense have moved the ball much better here, Greg, in this fourth period. And I think he went to the smaller, quicker lineup to see if he could escalate the movement a little more with that lineup.
We've referenced the fact that Downard's aboard away from a double-double. Kennedy Gerard the same. She's got 10 points and 9 rebounds. Marian curtailed their turnovers significantly in half number 2. They had 9 at halftime. They've had 2 since the break. For Spring Arbor, now your focus goes to next year. And exactly what that looks like, we'll see. McQuay will bring the ball to the front court. Wayner probably got away with a walk that time.
It was more than probably. Hey, every now and then, you need one of those, right?
Wayner almost turned it over. What a step through by McQuay, and that's the send-off moment for the senior right there.
That was pretty.
So she's got 8. Bossy getting into Downard's bailiwick. And Downard got a final bucket on senior day, too. And now a timeout taken by Spring Arbor with 1:33 left to go. They'll take their final timeout, which will again be a full timeout. We'll keep it right here at this point with just 93 seconds left to go. 20 points, probably not indicative of how this game was played, but let's also say that really, 8 was as close as this got in the second half.
It's good to see this little run here. I mean, for the first time, Marian players got a little smile on their face. It has not been over for a long while, and finally for the first time in a long time, they're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Hey, let's give the Cougars a lot of credit. They came in here. I thought they played hard. They played strong. They kept it, close for most of the time, considering all the turnovers that they accumulated. They still kept it close.
And the men's game will be a little after 3 o'clock tonight, or this afternoon. Spring Arbor the opponent as well. The Spring Arbor men's team having a surprisingly down year this year. Spring Arbor was the men's national champions 3 years ago, and they will miss the Crossroads League tournament.
Well, it's hard to get at the top. It's even harder to stay at the top.
Which makes what Indiana Wesleyan and Marian have done.
Right.
And again, Indiana Wesleyan's kind of in a different stratosphere with what they have done. Marian has been now a national tournament contender.
And we're going to see this in the next game. I think that's why it makes all the sense in the world. When you've got a team that has a shot to be super competitive, you pull out all the stops. You just don't know what the next few years might hold. But when you got an opportunity to do something, you take advantage of it now.
Block by McQuay. Can McQuay get to double figures on senior day? Well, she passes. Downard got fouled and one.
Nice look.
So Downard with 18. And I think the two seniors are about to be pulled. Yep. Aaliyah Evans going to come in, so Shanice McQuay. And then if Downard hits the free throw, she will exit. She doesn't. So Downard stays on for a little bit longer. 22-point lead, the largest of the day. Bossy, another steal. And Marian wants a timeout just to get Downard off the floor. They'll keep it going. Spring Arbor will also extend their bench a little bit here. That's to give Downard the nice round of applause. Alexa McKinley, the player that comes in to replace her, freshman from Columbus North. By the way, for Spring Arbor, Rayanne Van Aken in for the first time. And Maddie Keena in for the first time as well. Collier got fouled. That was reminiscent of the move she made to beat Indiana Wesleyan back in January.
And you mentioned earlier in the broadcast that next year, those are the types of moves she will need to do more often to complement her outside shooting, and she's certainly capable. She's got a lot of experience going into her junior year that a lot of juniors never see. Certainly has earned it. It'll be fun to watch her for sure.
18 for Ellip. 59-35. A strong finishing kick for Marian.
Yeah. Well, they only scored 8 points in the second, 13 in the third, so certainly the fourth has been much kinder to them offensively.
Yeah, 24 points in the quarter for Marian. 3 for Spring Arbor does not go. Fight for the loose ball. One more turnover for Spring Arbor. All that Marian needs to do is bring the ball into the front court, and this one is in the past tense. Marian will finish league play at 17-1. They'll finish the regular season at 25-3, and the 7 times running Crossroads League regular season champions now will look to defend home court the next 3 and win the Crossroads League tournament to make it a double. Final score today, Marian 59 and Spring Arbor 35. Jan, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, I thought the team, when they went a little smaller and got a little quicker, kind of brought some quickness and some momentum to this game it desperately needed. But at the end of the day, a win is a win is a win. Congratulations on a great season for Marian.
Spring Arbor season comes to an end at 4-23. For those of you watching on ISC Sports Network, our social media channels, our men's broadcast will begin in approximately 25 minutes. For those of you watching on Comcast 81, don't go anywhere. You're going to see a bonus airing of Delphi bracketology before we come back in the neighborhood of 3 o'clock for today's men's contest. Goodbye for now from Marian. We'll win by 24 on ISC and Comcast 81.